Today I want to talk about judgment. So, what is judgment? So the simple definition of judgment would be to compare someone to your standards. And when we do this, it can be healthy. It can be healthy to judge, and let me explain. So everything has a positive and a negative. So we typically think of judgment as this negative thing. We judge people, we compare them to our standards. They don't make our standards, therefore we have a negative perception of them. We develop an attitude or an immature way of thinking, and so we judge them. However, we could also, look at it in a positive way of like, oh, this person is different based on my standards. I am judging them based on my standards, and I accept them that they're different. So even though you're acting of judging them based on your standards, you're comparing them, doesn't mean you have to respond and treat them differently in a negative way, okay? So the thing that's negative about judgment is that we separate people. So think of politics. If someone has different views than you, or if they voted differently than you, and you find that out, you might just change the way you look at them. You might, you're judging them like, oh, well, if, for example, if I'm a Republican and you're a Democrat, then we have something different. Therefore, I can't see you on the same level because we have this skewed difference, this opposition. And it is so incredibly healthy that we all have different views. It is so important that we all think differently, because look at it this way. If we all thought the same, how far would we be getting in life? We wouldn't have enough problem-solving skills. We would just be like sheep, all doing the same thing, and it'd be very monotonous and just boring in general, and we wouldn't be getting very far. So having different thoughts is really important, and so we should be valuing that rather than condemning people for that. So, and this goes with everything, if someone dresses differently than you and has a different style, instead of judging that they are this category that you put them in, you can see them as different. Like, wow, that person has very vibrant hair color. I never thought to do rainbow hair for my hair, but that looks good on them, rather than they're weird and they're different and they're flamboyant. Just be positive about it. Wow, like that is awesome. That's a good thing, quality that they have, that they can pull that off. And same thing with like music. Some people don't understand how people can like certain styles of music, or certain ways of dancing, or certain ways of creating art, and instead of judging them as this negative thing, we should be celebrating their individuality and uniqueness. And that's what makes humanity so amazing, is that we have the capacity to develop in these different avenues, these different ways of expressing ourselves. And so it's so negative and immature to, again, condemn and put people down when they aren't like you, as if you are the only one who matters. My life, what is it Myers-Briggs? I always forget what kind of test it is. I think I'm at ENFJ. I don't actually remember. I think J is part of it. So I have judgment in mine. And when I found that out, I got really uncomfortable with that, because I come from a family where there was a lot of judgmental views, and so I didn't want to be like that. I don't want to judge people. I don't want to have that, negative, oh, you're different. I don't want that. So as life would have it, life gives you scenarios to work on things that you want to work on. And so obviously that's something I want to work on. So God gave me my partner, who I've been with for almost 5 years. And he and I are completely different. He has so many different ways how he operates in his life. He is more slow moving, more, he takes naps and breaks. And me, I'm very go, 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 productive, got things to do. And so being with him has completely developed the way I realize that people do operate differently, and that's okay. When we first started dating or being friends, I kind of did judge him, like, oh, he's lazy, he's not working as much as he could with his day. But as the more I worked with him and was with him, I realized that taking breaks is a necessity. It's self-care, and you reserve your energy and you're able to do more in the day. And I never had that framework to work with before, but now that I've been working and being around him, I can have a new scope on how to live our lives, and that's not a negative bad thing that he does those things. It's actually positive traits. And so my judgmental, narrow view was finally skewed in this positive way. I was able to expand and see more of what people can do, rather than judging them that they weren't doing it from my standards. So as you see, we want to be able to judge people and, to compare them, but to reflect on opening up that those ideas, like not judging them and then again negatively, they're different, so I disagree with them, but instead value and celebrate their differences, so we can evolve in a way that we are becoming more unique, that we are having more problem solving skills, that we are able to cherish each other for our uniqueness. So think about that throughout the day. Don't put yourself down if you're judging somebody, but see it as, okay, they're different from where I'm coming from. How can I blossom into that because they're in my life? This new vibration has come into my bubble, and now things are shifting. How can I make this a positive decision for me, or a positive experience for me, rather than shutting them down and being all negative? And it's not productive. It's not I'm trying to think of another word, but besides productive, it's not compassionate. It's not. I think you get what I'm saying in today's video. So be a little bit more open-minded. When you compare people based on your standards, and notice how your standards can change, because if you allow yourself to be more open to developing in your own self.